What's up, nerds? It's Snow MTG here with a sick Oathbreaker deck tech. We're going to be playing Wrenn and Six and Realms Uncharted today. Wrenn and Six, of course, gets lands out of your graveyard. He lava darts things. That's really what the deck's all about, guys. Just lava dart tribal, trust me. Not actually. And his ult gives all your instants and sorceries in your graveyard retrace. They never say to evaluate planeswalkers on ults, but this one's pretty powerful. But baseline there is still pretty good. Just being able to get back a land every turn is great, especially with the signature spell Realms Uncharted, which is just gifts ungiven for lands. You get 4 different lands with different names. 2 of them end up in your graveyard, 2 of them end up in your hands, up to your opponent. Wrenn and Six can then get the 2 that are in your graveyard back to your hand, and you can set up some sick stuff. This deck's full of sweet, juicy value. Just, the kind of stuff that you want to just shove into your gullet. Alright, so the list starts with basic lands. 5 mountains, 5 forests. The basic lands, you need them in your deck. You've got some fixing, some cycling lands, county garden, just a little value here and there. Cinderglade, Temple Abandoned, Wooded Foothills, Sheltered Thicket, Evolving Wilds for a little bit of fixing. The deck does have a very low curve. You want to be able to play Wrenn and Six on turn 2, right into Realms Uncharted on turn 3, so we're kind of minimizing the amount of lands that come into play untapped, while trying to also maximize our chances of playing Wrenn on turn 2. We've got another 11, I guess we'll call them utility lands. They all kind of do different things. First of all, Urzatron. It's very good with Realms Uncharted. Your opponent may only give you 1 piece, but Wrenn buys them back, and you can get it out of hand pretty quickly, having access to a free 7 mana. It's nice. Throw in the High City, and sack it, and become the Monarch. Card advantage. Strip Mine. Strip Mine. That's a Strip Mine. Ooh. Look at that. Hot. Field of Ruin. Maybe Strip Mine. Also can fix your mana. Cradle the Accursed. There's spoilers. There's 3 deserts in the deck for Hour of Promise. This is the one I went with because you can recur it with Wrenn. Scavenger Grounds. Still graveyard hate on a land. Seems good. You use your graveyard a lot in this deck. You should be able to engineer a situation where you can get it off without losing too much. Blast Zone. Love this card, especially with Wrenn being able to recur it every turn. Mirror Pool. You can copy some very good cards in this deck, which you'll see more of later. And a Myriad Landscape. A little ramp spell on a land. A little bit of color fixing here and there. Works great with Wrenn. One of the big hallmarks of this deck is generating lots of value. You have the cycling lands and value lands, and you have a lot of stuff to go with that. Tectonic Reformation gives all the lands in your hand cycling. Turn Timber Sower just makes tokens when you play lands. Life from the Loam fills up your graveyard with lands and then gets them back. Crucible of Worlds. Crucible of Worlds. People play Pithing Needle in this format. Sometimes it really do beat like that. And Crucible of Worlds is a way to get around that. Titles Tracker. The best card ever printed, according to Jim Davis. It's probably somewhere in the top 5 for me. Eternal Witness, just a little bit of value. Players aren't only at 20 life, so a 2-1 body is relevant if you can clear someone's board. Faithless Looting, just go in turn 1, Faithless Looting, turn 2, Wrenn, get back a land is a great start. You basically just start with an extra card in your hand, and it feels good. 2 Eternal Witnesses strapped together. Evolution Sage, you can kind of curve out to ult Wrenn faster with it. I'm not sure if this will stay in, but I want to see how it performs. And some extra land drops. We got Oracle of Moldiah, Exploration, and Burgeoning. They all go great with Wrenn. They all just kind of let you churn stuff out faster. Mully Dully is also card advantage, which is fantastic. We've got Traverse the Uvenwald and Crop Rotation just as 2 tutors. Sometimes you just need a Strip Mine right away, and Crop Rotation does do that. Traverse the Uvenwald, I didn't even realize this until today. When you have Delirium, it tutors for any land, and also for a creature. And it's a way of the land, so I can set up turn 2 Wrenns. Seems pretty good. We're going to move into some answers here. Blasphemous Act and Magma Quake are my choices for sweepers for this deck. I think Magma Quake is very good in this format. Deals X damage to each creature without flying and each planeswalker. And Blasphemous Act is just the classic. It's good stuff. Tastes good, smells good. It's got good mouth feel. Big fan of the card. Braid. It's nice, quick and dirty early answer. Deals with a lot of different things. Same deal. Hold Breach, quick, dirty early answer. Really good to get back with Wrenn. And Giant's Immolating Inferno is just a win con in a deck that runs 30 lands and can realistically get them all out. You can just 30 every opponent and they're dead. And now we get into the threats for the deck, and I saved this for last because threats sort of tend to fall into all categories sometimes. Like, there are threats that are also value cards, there's answers that are also threats, and there are value cards that are also threats, although this deck's not really running them. I guess there is one example I'll mention later. But, just more land synergy. We start with Living Twister. That's the answer we spoke about before. Just 1 in red, discard a land card, shocks the target, and you can bounce lands with it. It makes me want to run it more than, what's the card? Seismic Assault. You definitely set up a kill more often with a card you'll see later, also. Scoop 'em Up. I don't always like this card. I'm not sure this deck wants just a random, like, 5/5 becomes a 9/9 or whatever. Just seems a little mopey. I don't know. Every time I say a card seems mopey, it blows me out of the water. So there's that. Insult to Injury. Ooh. Okay, hear me out. You can retrace the first half with Wrenn. With the Wrenn ult multiple times. If you can, like, stack up, like, 4 or 5 lands in hand, it gets doubled 4 or 5 times. It's 2 to the 4th or 5th power. At that point, just casting Inquiry from your graveyard kills an opponent. Jaya's Immolating Inferno can kill multiple opponents on slightly less mana, if you really want to get into that. Lets you Alpha Strike pretty effectively as well. Maybe it'll end up getting cut. It seems good enough just on raid as a value card. Like, you pay 6, you kill something, you dome someone for 4. You double a combat step to, like, knock an opponent out, and you have a removal spell for some value creature later down the line. I'll see how it goes. It could have went into the answers section, but it is also a actual win con. Hour of Promise. Also could have went in the value section. Could have talked about it when I talked about Ram cards, but it makes 2/2/2 zombies. And it's a feel-good way to win. Ayla's Influence. Just plus Wrenn, get a 2/2. Plus Wrenn, get a 2/2 every turn. Makes lots of value, makes lots of blockers, and can eventually win you the game. Dragonlair Spider. Because I don't own Omnath Locus of Rage. Magmatic Force, I think it's very good in this format. It gives you a Lightning Bolt every upkeep. If it tables, if it goes from your end step to your next upkeep, you can have done 12 damage to one player. You can have killed 2 of their commanders. You can have wiped the board of multiple value creatures. This is a great way to just dump a bunch of mana into a card in red and have it just slowly win you the game. And Avenger of Zendikar, the classic. Just, once again. It's a card I've played with many times, and I'll play many more. It's Avenger of Zendikar. And that's the deck. Hoping to blow some people out. There are a few cards here and there that I'm not sure if they'll make their way. Burgeoning, I'm not really 100% sure on. Although I guess it does play well with Realms Uncharted, as you can just get 2 basics and 2 cycling lands to your hand or something like that to get extra land drops if the game isn't going your way. The deck's a little short on answers. I would hope that just being able to grind people out with value makes up for that. We can find out in testing, but this has been Snow MTG with the... Wow, that's a bad outro. I need to work on that. And for the astute who counted that I only had 59 cards in that list, that's because the 60th card is Python Needle.